What is an array? Well, an array is a list of things. Let's take a look. Pladunk. Okay, an array. Well, we've seen variables, so var a is equal to hello. And if we wanted to, say, store a bunch of things that somebody might say, we could also say var b is equal to goodbye. Var c is equal to wow. Okay, so we can imagine that these are a bunch of options for an avatar to say. Well, it's a bit of a pain in the neck to store a variable for each one of these. So what we can do is we can just store these objects as a list of objects, an array. So var array. Well, let's call it what it is. Var messages is equal to, and that's what the array looks like. That's an array literal. Okay, we use the square brackets like that. And then we fill the square brackets with the objects like so. So hello, comma, separated by commas. Goodbye, comma, and wow, comma. Isn't that nice and tidy? So we might have many messages, and we don't have to make a variable for each one of them. Not only that, but we access these messages with an index. This is index 0, so the index starts at 0. Here's index 1, index 2. So we can use numbers to get at that. Let's try that. So if I zog messages at, and we use the same square brackets, but this is the array access operator. When we tack it on to the end of the name of the array identifier, we can say, show me please messages at 0. So we term the array access operator at, right? Messages at 0. We don't need these anymore. Bye-bye. Okay, and let's see what this zogs in the console. So control and F12 to see the console, and there is hello is coming back. This says hello because it's messages at the index of 0. And here's the message at the index of 1. So we save that and take a look, refresh. Goodbye. Okay, we can also store an array of numbers, for instance. How about a bunch of scores? Var scores is equal to, and let's see, we might have a score of 22, 34, and this poor fellow got 12. Now, let's do one more just so that you know that we can do more than 3. 66. Woo. Okay, so there's an array of numbers, and we can access those the same way. Zog scores at, say we want to get this very last score, that would be 0. Well, we might say, hey, there's 4 scores there, so let's zog scores at 4. Let's see what that zogs. Undefined. Undefined. Why? There's 4 scores. We zog scores at 4. Why does it say undefined? Because it's 0, 1, 2, 3. There is no scores at 4. Now, mind you, if we wanted to, so the last one would be scores at 3. If we wanted to, we could say scores at 4 is equal to 33, semicolon. Now, we've just added, we can assign values to our array as well. So now it will say 33. And we come here and refresh, 33. And indeed, we can change these other scores as well. Say we wanted scores at 0, the very first score, to also be 33. Scores at 0 is 33. Well, now we're actually not adding scores at 4 anymore, but let's check out scores at 0, see if we changed it. Okay, so now we're putting 33 into the first element there, into the 0 index. So we save that and we refresh. 33 again, so that's saying, yeah, that assigned. Arrays don't have to store the same type of information. It could be an array of a variety of different things. This, for instance, could hold an object in here that might say winner, colon, quote, Dan Zen. Yay! For some reason. So maybe this person's a winner or something. Now, it's not usual to do that. We usually think of arrays as having, we're storing similar things. But on occasion, you can have an array that stores just anything you want, like a variety of different formats. Whatever that was. Oh, was that was the poor score, wasn't it? 12. Oh. All right, you can have arrays within arrays as well. So that would look like this. There's an array, and there's an array within an array. So this is an outer array that holds one array, but usually we might hold several in there. And that could, for instance, represent numbers in a number pad. Let's see, such as 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9. So this is the top row's numbers, this is the middle row's numbers, and this is the bottom row's numbers. And we could say var pad is equal to that semicolon. And then you access it in the same way. You say zog pad. If we just ask for, well, if we just ask for pad, it would show us all that stuff in a roundabout way in the console. But if we ask for pad at 0, what that would give us is this first array right here. So shall we see that? Excuse me. And we refresh here, and there it's saying an array that has 1, 2, and 3 in it. So if this pad at 0 represents this array, how would we access the 3? Well, that's this array at index 0, 1, 2. So we just put another array access operator at 2. So this is pad at 0 at 2. Okay, and we just do that for any nested arrays. We just keep on, keep on going like that. As many arrays inside of arrays as you want. And that gives me 3. See that? 3. If I wanted to get 8, well, let's see, what would that be? 8. Well, in our outer array, that's index 0, 1, 2. So we would put a 2 here. And then if we wanted 8, that's index 0, 1. So 2 at 1. There we go. So we save that. We should see the number 8. We refresh. It indeed says 8. Now we can loop through arrays as well. Let's not, this would be having a loop within a loop to loop through here, but let's loop through one of the simple ones here, messages. So for var I equals 0, semicolon. Keep on looping as long as I is less than messages dot length. Oh, did I tell you about the length? No, not really. Okay, so an array has a length property. So the length of this array is 3. Keep on looping as long as I is less than messages.length, and then increase our I each time. Okay, so let's take a look at this. We start at 0 because that's the first one. We're going to be increasing our I each time, so it'll go 0, 1, 2. And note that I go 0, 1, 2. 2 is 1 less than the length. The length, we'll zog that after. The length is 3. So we keep on looping as long as I is less than the length, but as soon as it gets to be the length equal to the length, we've gone too far and it won't loop anymore. So, and in each case, we will zog messages. Now, much like we accessed each index like so, that's index 1, we did index 0 too. We don't want to hard code this. We don't want to say 0 because every time it would do 0. We don't want to say 1 every time it would do 1. I is what we want to put in there because I is changing. Okay, the first time we loop, I is 0, so it's like putting 0 in there. Next time it loops, I is 1, so it's like putting 1 in there. So the first time, it will give us hello. The next time it loops, it will give us goodbye. And the last time it loops, it will give us wow. Are you ready? We save that and we refresh here. Goodbye, hello, goodbye. Why did it say that? Any idea? Oh, there it is. Okay, we must have been doing goodbye earlier. Then we have hello, goodbye, and wow. There. Yeah, there's our first zog of goodbye. Comment that out. All right, so that's us looping through the array messages, and that's very handy. You can imagine that we might have 100 monsters and we loop through them, and each monster could have a different color or a different growl, so we could assign that different color to the monster. All right, we use loops and arrays quite often, I would say, in about 75% of the things we make, well, maybe 50 to 75% of the things we make, we're looping through an array like this in some manner. All right, there are other things you can do with arrays as well. There are methods of arrays. Oh, I said I would zog the length, so okay, shall we zog the length? Let's just do that here. Zog messages dot length to see. So we save that up and refresh here. 3. There it is. So that's a property of the array. As a matter of fact, I think that might be the only property of an array, is its length. But there's a bunch of methods, things that you can do to an array. You can push, pop, shift, unshift. Those are adding things to the end and the beginning and pulling things off the end and the beginning. You can splice to get something in the middle, and so forth. There's index of and find things in an array. But we'll leave those for the mid-level what is, okay? But this is what is an array, and I think that's got it. Woohoo! Well done. I'm Inventor Dan Zen. We're here at zimjs.com. Have a great day.